Jasmine Crockett is speaking out about Trump's federal funding freeze, and she's making it clear, this isn't just about budget cuts. She believes this is all part of a larger plan tied to Project 2025, a strategy that could push the country toward a recession and even a government shutdown.
This is a white supremacy agenda that was laid out in Project 2025. If you go back on YouTube and look at some of the clips of various members in committee asking people, such as the guy that they're trying to put over the OMB, he is somebody that I question for sure about this Project 2025 agenda because he is one of the authors of Project 2025. I am trying to tell you that they don't care about the middle class. So number one, Democrats need to stop saying that we didn't have a middle class agenda. No, our middle class agenda has been taking care of people for a very long time. And I'm going to be clear, it's not just a middle class agenda, it is a poor folk agenda as well. So the idea that people right now are struggling, not knowing whether or not Head Start will actually be available so that they can go out and work, and then the next thing you know, we know that the Republicans are going to say you need to pick yourself up by your bootstraps, even though you can't go to work and you want to go to work. I just tweeted not too long ago about the fact that our unemployment numbers are going to go up. We are headed for a full-on recession, and that is not me trying to be an alarmist. That is me trying to get you to pay attention. So most of you are wondering, what can you do? Well, what we should have done was on November 5th, but nevertheless, this is where we are. So what do we do next? Well, number one, there's a lot of organizations that have decided they are going to engage in litigation. We also need to be supportive of our attorney generals in the good states. The good states are the ones that have this all together. Now, the poor states haven't jumped in this. And frankly, if we get court rulings that benefit the whole country, those poor states like Mississippi, like Louisiana, the ones that rely on the states that bring in the money, like California, etc., then you know what? If y'all not trying to jump in the litigation, don't worry about getting your funding. We'll keep the funding in our states, the ones that have attorney generals that are actually working for the people. We know that there's been lawsuits filed everywhere. There has been one district court judge as it relates specifically to him trying to stop these funds, okay? That judge has basically said, we gonna put a hold on this. We not doing what you want to do on Monday, February 3rd, when everything is supposed to take effect. Now, the questions are like, what will it impact? Because they got their new little press secretary. She got up there. She lying through her teeth. She just a good MAGA because only loyalists are allowed to be involved. She did not want to answer the questions. They said if it was benefits that go directly to the people, then the benefits will still go directly to the people. The reality is that when they put out the memo, it contradicted what she said. So who knows what all they are trying to go after. It does seem as if SNAP benefits will be on the cutting block. And again, you can go back and watch video footage of me talking about the fact that rural America uses more SNAP benefits than urban America, but urban America seems to get it right when it comes to voting. Rural America, I need you to wake up, because if for some reason you can't put food on your table, just know who you need to blame. There is a question about whether or not housing benefits are going to be under attack. From what I can tell, it looks like if you get a housing voucher, that it may be under attack. Let me just tell y'all something. He has a track record of bankruptcy. He has a track record of just not paying his bills. Right now, what he is trying to do is run the federal government the exact same way, in a fraudulent way where we don't pay our bills. So on March 14th, mark my words, I could be wrong, but I think we're going to end up shutting down the government. The problems that we keep seeing is that he is trying to test his power. He said that he was going to be a dictator on day one, and that's exactly what we are experiencing, because he decides that his power of the pen should overrule everything else. The reason that he is wrong, in my legal opinion, when it comes to appropriations, that is not something that the president does. It is something that the Congress does. The Congress has the power of the purse. What does that mean? That means that it has to go through 535 people before it makes it to the president's desk. And that is the only way that we literally take in your tax dollars from the various ways that we take in tax revenue. And then we redistribute that money in the various ways that we do. That has to go through Congress. He unilaterally believes that he can, with the stroke of a pen, say, never mind, we're going to undo that.
According to her, Trump himself has openly stated that he would act as a dictator from day one, and what we're seeing now is the early stages of that exact playbook. This federal funding freeze isn't just about tightening the budget, it's about control. It's about making moves that could disproportionately affect certain communities while setting the stage for something much bigger. The claim that this aligns with a white supremacy agenda isn't something to take lightly. When funding gets cut, the most vulnerable communities feel it first. Programs that provide essential resources, financial aid, and support for lower-income families could take a major hit. And if the economy takes a downturn because of these policies, it's not the wealthy that will struggle, it's the working class and marginalized groups that will bear the brunt of it. The signs are there. A recession isn't just a distant possibility. Some argue that we're already feeling the effects. Inflation, job instability, and rising costs are making it harder for people to sustain themselves. And now, with this potential freeze, things could get even worse. The bigger picture here is that Trump's administration, if given the chance, could implement policies that push the country toward economic hardship while consolidating power in a way that makes it difficult to challenge. People voted for him knowing exactly what he stood for. He never hid his intentions, he was loud and clear about what he planned to do. So none of this should come as a surprise. When someone tells you who they are, believe them. This isn't about partisan politics anymore. This is about the future of democracy and whether people are paying attention to the warning signs. And let's be real, America isn't the dream it once was for a lot of people. With rising costs, political division, and policies that seem to benefit the elite while leaving everyone else behind, many are questioning their place in this country. If things continue down this path, more people are going to feel like they have no choice but to seek opportunities elsewhere. Jasmine Crockett isn't afraid to call it like it is. She's standing her ground, making sure people are aware of what's happening before it's too late. The question is, are people listening?